What's good with y'all boys, man? Welcome back to another episode of Ray and Kyle, Everything Sports Podcast, baby. Today we've got the Cowboys and the Cardinals breakdown. They're coming off an embarrassing loss. So what are your thoughts on this game, Ray, and where the Cowboys stand for the rest of the season?
Yeah, as a Cowboys fan, this one hurt a little bit. But honestly, overall, I'm not too worried about it. I don't like the Cowboys' loss, especially at the high they run on week 1 and week 2. But one, this Cardinals team is a lot better than people think. They've shown that they were 0-2 coming to this game, but they weren't a bad 0-2. And they've had a good performance against the Cowboys. It's not like we got beat by a scrub team. I mean, I don't like the loss. I'd rather this be 3-0. But the offensive side, we still outdid them offensively. Dak threw for 250 yards. He had one interception at the end of the game, but honestly, that's on the defense. I believe this game overall is on the defense and on coaching. I mean, the penalties is one thing, but the defense has to stop them from scoring 28 points. Because whenever they let the game get into a shootout like it was and make Dak have to score, it's when Dak's at his worst. When Dak's at his best is when he can cook and when he can deal and not have to have all that pressure. So if the defense can hold him out, shut teams out first half, first quarter, and then let Dak build up a little bit of a 1-2 score lead and he can just deal without all that pressure, I think that's when he's at his best. So whenever you saw in that game, whenever Dak knew he had to score, he forced something. He threw in a triple coverage, a bad option, and he threw a pick. So I like our Cowboys team still. I like the offense, the weapons we have on offense. I mean, Pollard still ran for 122 yards. The wide receivers are still getting theirs. I mean, we have a great wide receiver core: CD, Cooks, Gallup. I mean, there's a lot of great power on offense. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, it's a good thing we picked up Stephon Gilmore when we did because now we don't have Diggs, and I think that did hurt us more than we think. But I hope that putting Bland out from the slot, putting him wide now, we'll be able to still have that good coverage on both ends. Because there's a lot of good duos that we'll have to face going through the playoffs and the rest of the regular season. So I like the Cowboys a lot coming into this game after the loss. I still like them a lot. I'm not too worried. I mean, it's not college. Teams are allowed to lose games. I mean, we don't see very many undefeated runs in the regular season anyways. A lot of the times, I mean, teams that are first seeds are 2, 3, 4 loss teams. So I'm not too worried about them. I just need to see them bounce back this week, and I think they will.
Yeah, man, I agree with your main point that this game was on the defense, but the red zone wells do worry me a decent amount. I mean, the Cardinals scored on every possession in the first half. I mean, whether it was a field goal or a touchdown, every time they touched the ball, they put up points. And I mean, we hyped up this defense a lot, but I mean that's just unacceptable and really unexcusable. They didn't punt until 7 minutes left in the third quarter, and they only punted twice the whole entire game. So for this Cardinals team to put up 28 points in the score pretty much all but 2 times they got the ball, I mean, that's not acceptable. But the Cowboys only putting up 16 points is just as bad. I mean, we were moving the ball up and down the field, but 5 trips in the red zone getting 16 points, that's the worst in 2 seasons with that amount of trips to the red zone. In the second half, they got the ball from the 8-yard line, the 8 again, the 5 and the 4-yard line and put up 6 points. I mean, that's terrible. I don't understand how we can come out that flat and just play that poorly on the defensive side of the ball. And like you were saying, Dak plays best when he's ahead. The way that Dak put up these great numbers the first 2 games is they had to lead. We go as our run game goes. When Dak throws the ball 40 or more times, he's 7-16 as a starter. If you look at his rookie year and the second year when Zeke was eating, arguably the best running back in the NFL, that's when the Cowboys were at their best. When they had that running attack and Dak was able to play action, and get the ball to his receivers. And like you say, we have all the talents. If you look at the stats, Dak going for over 250. I mean, CD eating, Pollard going for over 120. I mean, if you just look at the stats for this game on the Cowboys side of the ball, I mean, you'd think they won and they covered, But you go to the Cardinals and look what they did. So, like I said, I still think they're the team to beat in the NFC East. So I'm not really that worried because I feel like it was a fluke game and they just came out a little flat, especially on the defense side of the ball. Just because Trayvon Diggs, that's terrible, losing your probably second or third best defensive player and probably your, top 6 player on the team. That's pretty devastating. So I understand how they could come out flat. And like you said, I'm not very worried, but I just want to see them bounce back and come ahead with a strong week against the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm still really high on this Cowboys team. I think they have the best and the highest ceiling. But this Cowboys team over the last couple of years have had a really high ceiling. This, of course, is the highest, I believe. But the Cowboys, the main problem with them over the last couple of years and going into this year apparently now is the inconsistency. I just need to see a consistent couple of weeks from the Cowboys if they're going to have any chance over in the NFC against the teams that have been consistent like the 49ers. If the Cowboys are at their best and the 49ers are at their best, give me the Cowboys by 2 scores. If the Cowboys play like they can play, which is their inconsistent low selves versus that consistent 49ers team, they're going to lose just like they did in the playoffs last year. So if I can start seeing some more consistency and on both sides of the ball from that Cowboys team and see a little bit more discipline coming from them, not have all those penalties and be a little bit more efficient in the red zone, this Cowboys team will make a really deep run.
Yeah, and I agree. And the reason why I do have the 49ers ahead of them is because I feel like if they played right here, right now, I feel like the Niners would win just for the simple fact that they would take away the run game and force Dak to throw like they did last year. And honestly, the reason why the Cowboys lost is, I mean, we couldn't move the ball on offense and Dak turned the ball over. So I just feel like if we get that under control and Dak continues to do well with taking care of the football as he was the first 2 weeks and really most of that game Sunday, I think the Cowboys will be fine.
Yeah, I think right now, if the Cowboys and the 49ers played week 1 and week 2, I don't know that would have been close.
Yeah.
But if they played in week 3, I think the 49ers would have blown them out. I mean, the 49ers are blowing teams out. They're blowing out bad teams. But on week 4, I mean, the Cowboys were average at best, bad at worst. I mean, I don't know. I hope this Cowboys team can show us a little more consistency if they want to have a chance to compete over there.
I mean, yeah, and I agree with that too because the thing with I think we clearly have the better quarterback. I mean, just take him in a box, just the intangibles and everything. But I feel like Brock Purdy does what Dak can't. I feel like Dak feels like he got the big contract. He needs to prove himself. When in reality, all the Cowboys need him to do is just get the ball to the playmakers and protect the ball. And that's what Purdy does so well. He doesn't put his defense in bad situations because I do feel like the Cowboys have the better defense this year too. So I feel like if he just does what Purdy did last year, I think the Cowboys are going to be a tough out.